How's it going, ghosts and gals? I found another story that I want to talk about. This one's from The Canary by Afrozaid Jizraj. Oh, that's an unfortunate end part, but I'm sure I've pronounced it correctly. Fascism is now why we need to stop giving people like Steve Bannon a platform to air their views. And you can already tell exactly where this is going to go. Let's have a look. Fascism is not to be debated, it is to be smashed. I'm guessing that's an incitement of violence? It's definitely not an incitement for a conversation. Great start though, I'm pretty sure nobody expected it to go this way. So she starts off by saying, it looks like 2018 has been a good year for the marketplace of ideas. Steve Bannon was interviewed on BBC Newsnight in May and October. Steve Yexley-Lennon, aka Tommy Robson, got a Sky News interview as well as an appearance on the BBC. And on the 15th of November, Oxford Union gave Bannon a platform yet again amid much protest. I don't know what your point is here. Who am I kidding? We all know what your point is here. You don't think that these people should have been given a platform. You think they should have been banned? But we'll see later on that you do have quite a lot of doublethink in relation to free speech, banning them and whatnot. But let's continue. The right to speak. On its Twitter page, Oxford Union, a paid members only debating society at Oxford, proudly calls itself the last bastion of free speech. Stephen Horvath, the president of Oxford Union, defended the invitation to ban it by saying, "It is only through listening to the opinions of others that we can fully understand those opinions." Yeah, fucking spot on. And if you don't agree with those opinions, that's fair enough. And if you think those opinions are stupid, then again, allow them to speak, and then other people can make their minds up, and other people may possibly come to the conclusion that, oh yeah, these are stupid, and therefore I'm just going to dismiss them. They also may side with them, but it's free speech. When RT covered the protests that took place outside the event, a student similarly said, "I despise what Bannon stands for, but I believe we have to give people a right to speak." Fucking spot on. Once again, a lot of logic in that paragraph, a lot of logic. Obviously, the logical parts come from elsewhere. It's not coming from the author of this, as we'll continue to see. But if an institute such as Oxford Union refuses to invite Bannon, is that really affecting his right to speak? Yes. Yes. Because he's not going to be speaking. I see what you're saying. He already has I'm guessing he already has a platform. I'm sure he does. But just because he already has a pre-existing platform doesn't mean that you can ban him from elsewhere, because that is going to affect his speech. It's very, very basic here. Of course not. Yeah, see, exactly, that's what she thinks. Because people like Bannon already have a dedicated following and an established audience. Now, I already did read this, so I knew it was going in that direction. But even if I hadn't have read it, you, dear viewer, you probably knew that this is where it was going. They have enough influence not to need a prestigious stage from which to share their views. As for claiming we need to listen to his opinions to fully understand them, I can't say I've heard anything more insulting in recent memory. I don't need to see Bannon at one of the most respected universities in the world to understand that equating anti-fascism and Black Lives Matter activists with the KKK is an indefensible position. Oh, is anti-fascism... Oh, that's Antifa. Well, I'm pretty sure Antifa are recognised as a terrorist group. I don't know if BLM is yet, but they really should be. I mean, there's all those clips floating around. I don't even need to show them of them yelling pigs in a blanket from like bacon. They want to kill police. There was that one person who actually did, that ex-military fellow who shot... I don't know if he shot and killed anybody actually. I might have to bring that up, but I'm sure you all know. If you're watching this video, then you know this sort of stuff, and you'll know who I'm talking about. So I don't understand how it's indefensible. You don't really give any justification there. You just say it's indefensible. And here's where her true colours come out. Here's where the author's true image is seen. The mask has slipped, and it's ugly underneath. Personally, I have lost count of the number of times it has already been argued that free speech is being hijacked under the guise of hearing everyone out, while empowering the privileged few. You have no proof, and you don't offer any proof. It is no coincidence that the people whose right to speak is publicly defended are invariably white and already command enough influence to not need a platform to further their agenda. Do you have any proof of this? Do you have any proof of this? So you've got Steve Bannon, you've mentioned the 3 above, maybe actually 4 people above. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to say your team, but it pretty much is your team, the triggered ones, the ones that, the racist ones right there, the invariably white. You just love to throw out buzzwords like this. You're not helping any cause whatsoever, you're really just throwing a divide, aren't you? Realistically, that's all you're doing. And move on to this little part. The Nazi salutes witnessed at the protest outside Bannon's event are an anonymous sign of this reality. The swastika found painted on a sports centre in Oxford just days later, even more so. These are also linked. So two anonymous people throwing up a Nazi salute. I mean, admittedly, that is quite likely a Nazi salute. I mean, they could have been batting away a wasp or a fly. Not really, though. It's likely it's a Nazi salute, but that doesn't prove anything. You don't know who these people are. They could have been for Steve, but they may end up with Nazis. They may have known it would trigger you, and so they've gone ahead and done it. They may not like Bannon and also know that this is going to get some views, and so they've thrown out the Nazi salute as a plant. They could very well be neo-Nazis, but you haven't interviewed them, so you have no. Yeah, you just don't know. You do have more evidence. You do have a painted Nazi sticker. Let's have a look at this one too. Oh my goodness, you wrote a whole other article on this? I'm not going through this. I didn't. Do you have the picture? Oh, is that it? Ah, there it is. Again, and another anonymous sign. Wasn't it your lot that painted the poop swastika and claimed that it was a hate crime or it was hate speech or something? You were blaming it on the right. I'm personally not on the right, but when somebody tries to falsify a crime against anybody else, I'll voice my opinion. She finishes by saying, the reality is that we are on the verge of fascism right now, and by debating fascism as though it were an abstract concept, we aren't just blinding ourselves to this reality, we are normalising and enabling it. We see it in May's hostile environment and Trump's dehumanisation of immigrants and refugees, and debating it won't help anyone. What we need to do is crush it completely. So, Afrozi Zaidi Jivrag, sorry. You want to crush it. You don't want to debate it. You want to crush it. What are you doing there? What are you asking for? When you say crush it, realistically, what exactly are you asking for?